Hey everyone. Well, today I'm taking a look at a Radiomaster TX16. So this is a very popular radio, and in the last year or so I would say this has just become the default choice for people in FPV, and even for people in RC in general. And it's easy to see why. The features on this are just so complete for the money, basically 150, 160 bucks depending on when or where you're buying this from. I mean, it's got everything: Hall effect, huge color screen, all the switches you would want, all the channels you would want, and all the protocols you would want, and a big full-size module bay on the back so you can run Crossfire or whatever else you want. So in that sense, I mean, you really can't beat this. It is like really one radio for pretty much everything. And Banggood asked me if I wanted to check one out, and so of course I said yes, because I'd like to compare this to my Jumper T-Lite and TBS Tango 2, and then see if this could just be the one radio I used for everything. And so, you know, you've probably seen an unboxing of this before, but maybe you haven't. It's been a while since these were new, so let's see what comes in the kits as of now. And let's see. Manual here. Nice set of stickers there. And here we go. There's this foam case. I think the first time I saw a foam case like this was on a DJI Spark. Now these are pretty common, but still quite nice. High density foam. And then, oh, look at that. So take a look at this up close in a second. Let's see what else is in here. Looks like you've got a screen protector. Oh, a cute little keychain. And it looks like a USB-C cable. Some extra springs. So it looks like there's no neck strap. I think maybe some of the first ones came with a neck strap, but there doesn't seem to be a neck strap with this one. So anyway, here's the radio. So mine's looking pretty good. So anyway, let's take this over to the workbench for a closer look. I think what I'll do is probably just create a new model, bind it up to something like maybe my subatomic, because it has an XM Plus in it, and go out and give it a test flight, and then I'll compare it to my other radios. So first of all, you can see the big beautiful screen, which I've customized just a little bit, just in a very basic way, which I'll talk about in a second. Also, you can see the screen has good viewing angles, so it's not just the world's cheapest screen. Actually, it works pretty well. And then this is definitely a radio of the old school. It's big, it's just got a lot of switches everywhere. So this is how radios have looked for decades, and I think there's a reason for that. It just, it definitely works, and I think anyone could find a comfortable position, whether they do like a pinching style or even a thumbing style. It's got these very nice big grips in the back, very easy to hold, but also it's heavy, and you definitely want to use this with a neck strap compared to something like a T-Lite. And like a lot of radios, you need to supply your own batteries, and it comes with a battery tray, and I'm using a couple of 18650 cells in there, and you can charge the batteries internally from the USB-C port that's on the bottom, and there's a USB-C port that's on the top for simulator use. And here you got the full-size module bay, and if I'm going to keep using this, I'll probably get a Crossfire module. And there you have a very sturdy but non-folding metal handle with a little plastic grip on it. So I'll come back around to the front. I would say almost everything on this radio feels very nice and premium. All the plastics, the gimbals especially, are very nice. Trim switches. It has kind of a hollow sound here, but everything feels very nice to use. And this navigation with the scroll wheel and 4 or 6 buttons actually is very easy, and once you get used to what the different buttons do, it's very easy to get around inside the interface. So I said almost everything feels nice on this radio. The two things that don't feel very nice are the little sliders in the back and the little knobs on the front, which if you do FPV, you're probably never going to use those things, and honestly I kind of wish they weren't there, especially these little sliders, because I find I'm always kind of accidentally touching them and moving them around, and not only are they loose, and they have a pretty loose center detent, but just the switch itself is not very nice, just this little block kind of sticking out. So everything feels great on this radio, and it's still an amazing value, but just those two things, the sliders and the knobs, kind of let the rest of it down. But like I said, you're probably not going to interact with them much, if at all, so pretty easy to ignore, I guess. So as you can see on the display here, I have customized it a little bit. The easiest thing you can do is just to change the background colors, and the way you do that is to go into this screen here by holding down this telemetry button. And here you can see that you can switch between 2 different themes, and then the background color right now is just like more or less a white, and then this main color here right now is like a blue, But if you want to adjust it, just go into the different values. And now I see this will be more like a purple. And then if I go back to the way I had it, just like this. That's all pretty neat. And then this main screens, you can set up widgets, and then in fact you can see here I have these sliders turned off. When you have those turned on, you can see like these things moving around, and they're always kind of moving around, and that I find that slightly irritating. So it's nice that you can just turn those off if you don't need to see them, just like that. And now those are off, you don't have to see those, and now it's a pretty clean display. And here for the model, I just made a little graphic for the FrSky D16 protocol, because this is a multi-protocol radio. It will fly pretty much anything 2.4 gigahertz, and so instead of having a different model for each different quad, I'll just have a different model for different protocols, and I'll probably label it with little images like that. And it's very easy to add images, just to put them on the SD card that it comes included with the radio, or you can plug the radio into the computer and just copy the files directly onto the SD card. And here I just made a very simple little background with the channel logo just repeating. So you just need to make this background image a specific size and name it background.png, and just put it in the themes folder on the SD card, and then when you power it on, it'll display that background for you. And then for the models like this, you just go in and choose the model image, and these are images that you can copy yourself to the SD card however way you see fit. And that's FrSky 16 graphic that I made, and right now that's the only protocol that I'm using, so that's how that looks. So I think right now it looks pretty nice. That with the blue is pretty much all I need. And you know, when you're doing FPV, you're really not looking at this screen. I think that's more for setting up, and if you fly planes and maybe INAV stuff, you'll get more use out of the screen than just a straightforward freestyle pilot, but definitely nice to have. I can't complain about it. And the other thing that I think is important to do is to do a stick calibration, because my sticks were slightly off center. Well, they weren't off center, but they weren't reading a 0 in the middle, so that's pretty easy. Just hold down the system button and you'll go to the you get to the radio menu, and then from here you can do stick calibration, and it's a very easy process, so I recommend doing that if you've just gotten the radio. But now I think what I want to do is, I've already bound this up to my little subatomic, because this has an XM Plus receiver and FrSky, so I think I want to go fly this around a little bit with this radio, see how I like using this compared to the Jumper T-Lite, which I was using most recently for my little analog models and for FrSky stuff. And I've been liking this radio a lot. But it could just be I enjoy using this full-size radio more and having access to these nice big gimbals. So anyway, let's go see. So what do I think about this Radiomaster TX16S? Well, I don't think I'll be going out on a limb to say this is objectively just a really great full-size radio. It really lacks for nothing, and apart from the slightly loose-feeling sliders and knobs, I have nothing to complain about whatsoever. With this, the price is great, and I think the feeling of quality overall is really, really high for the money. So I think for the time being, I will be using this radio for my analog models, and we'll see if over time I do want to get a Crossfire module and replace my Tango 2 with this. We'll see. I mean, in terms of like the size, obviously this thing is much bigger, and I know I could get a multi-protocol module for the Tango 2 or get a crossfire module for the tea light if I wanted to get kind of an all-in-one solution. But I also actually don't like how those modules are, in both cases, kind of hanging off these little small radios. I like how this one has the integrated module bay. I think that'll be a little bit nicer to use. So that's my quick take on the TX16S. I don't think I have any new insights, but I'm very grateful to Banggood for sending this to me to check out. Very happy to get this and to keep using it. And if you want to get one, I will have some coupon codes down below. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.